So the next verse is Suprasadah prasannatma Vishvasrig Vishvabhuk Vibhuhu Satkarta Satkrita Sadhu Janur Narayano Naraha. So the names in this verse, Baladev Vidyabhushan in his commentary says they specifically refer to Krishna as a baby on a banyan leaf at the time of the dissolution of the universe. So one of Krishna's names is Prasada. It's a well-known term within ISKCON. We generally think of it as food offered to Krishna, although it can of course also mean flowers or anything else offered to Krishna. The term prasada, the general meaning is mercy, and suprasada means very good mercy. To distinguish it from, su is distinguished from ku, so if we say ku prasada, we could say a kind of mercy that is apparently mercy but actually detrimental. So this su is it's an adjectival form, and the opposite of that is, which means, it means good or enhanced, and ku is the opposite. So suprasad distinguishes the superlative mercy from that which is bad or that which is just merely somewhat good. There is one verse which is quoted in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, referring to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Amando Dayamdaya. It means the mercy which does not give rise to anything bad. Just like that example I just gave, that someone may be merciful to the human beings and feed them by not being merciful to the chickens and goats, by killing the chickens and goats. Or someone may be a great patriot and stand up for their country, but by in doing so killing people of another country. So materialistic mercy that inevitably favors one person or set of persons at the expense of others. Because in the material situation, if one person or set of persons is benefited, it is always at the expense of others. But Krishna's mercy is not like that. Everyone wins with Krishna's mercy. Whereas in the material situation, even those who are apparently benefited in any situation, they're they're all losers. In this material existence, everyone is a loser. So Krishna's name is Suprasada because he has the quality of all benevolent and the best form of mercy. Now, prasad doesn't only mean mercy, there are various other meanings also. Some dictionary meanings are as follows: clarity, so Krishna has the quality of being clear when he speaks. Everything is clear. It is clear that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prasada means brightness, light. Purity. Of course, Krishna is also bright in the sense of intelligence, but that's not the meaning here of prasada. Brightness. Purity, tranquility, and then the terms which relate to mercy are kindness, aid, well-being, and so on. These are all synonyms, or almost synonyms. So the commentators have noted that one symptom of Krishna's, there are many, many symptoms of Krishna's mercy. Practically, for one who has the vision, they can see that everything is Krishna's mercy. Materialistic people approach Krishna thinking that they will get his mercy in the form of money and solving their problems. They are described in Bhagavad Gita as artha, those in search of money, and artha, those who are distressed, and artharti, those who want money from Krishna. But Krishna says that his real mercy comes in a different way. Yasyaham anugrahnami harishe tadhanang shanai, as Srila Prabhupada often quoted. Krishna says, to those who I am kind, I gradually take away all their wealth. Tato dhanam tyajantyasya swajana dukha dukhitam. So, seeing him deprived of wealth, his relatives gradually give him up. So, love in this material world is measured in dollars, euros, rubles, etc. So that mercy means that the person who wants to worship Krishna but is had the material attachments, they find whatever they want to be attached to has become detached from them. Whatever they were, the people who worship Krishna and they want to be devotees of Krishna, but whatever they were attached to has become detached from them. There may be devotees who they have material attachments to money, family, and so on. But you can't be attached to something if you don't have it. You can't literally be attached to it. You can't be attached to money if you don't have any. You can be attached to the hope of having money, but you can't be attached to money if you don't have any. I am attached to my big palace, which I've erected just outside Kazan. But if it's not actually existing, there's no such palace, then how can you actually be attached to it? So you can't be attached to money, family, all these things if you don't have them. So that can be Krishna's mercy in that way. That doesn't endorse irresponsibility in the name of detachment. We've often seen in the short history of our ISKCON men who become detached from this material world and abandon their wife and children to become a renunciant out of a sense of extreme detachment. But often in such cases they find some beautiful young girl and they think, well, I could have a really Krishna conscious relationship with her. So that detachment, apparent detachment from their previous family, it was not actually detachment, it was just frustration in the matter of sense gratification. So Krishna's mercy comes in the form of giving himself to those who approach him. What is that? Krishna Shabhav Naloy, Krishna Shabhav Bhakti Naloy Aparad, Alpo Sheva Bahumane Atha Prajanto Prasad. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is stated that Krishna's nature is that he doesn't see offenses, he doesn't accept offenses from his devotees. He takes even a little service from them to be very great, and he's prepared to give his very self to them. Another, actually Krishna's mercy, it's such a huge topic that Anantadev can't come to the end of describing it, so I won't try to. But some particularly salient features, or appropriate, or what's the word? Salient, striking features of Krishna's mercy. He gives himself to the devotees, and even those who oppose him, he's kind to them. When he kills demons like Hiranyakashipu, he nullifies their sinful reactions. He stops them from accumulating more sinful reactions. He's merciful to the people that such demons oppress by removing the cause of their oppression. And even though persons like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Shishupal, there's so many of them, they act in a completely envious and inimical way toward Krishna. But Krishna is so kind, he bestows liberation upon them. The people, they perform great austerities and much difficulty they take to try to become liberated, but Krishna bestows liberation upon those who consider themselves his enemies by killing them. So whatever Krishna does, however people come in contact with Krishna, that is good for them. Even if they blaspheme Krishna in a roundabout way, it's also good for them. Now, we don't recommend that we go around preaching to everyone that you should blaspheme Krishna. But even those who do, somehow or other, they're conscious of Krishna. They will have to suffer for their offenses to Krishna, but the very fact that they're somehow thinking of Krishna, that impression will remain with them. In a perverse way, the demons also appreciate Krishna. If Krishna was insignificant, then why think about him at all? You only hate someone because that person causes you much distress. So in their perverse way of thinking, the demons think that Krishna is causing us distress. The demons want that they themselves will be the supreme enjoyer. And they're envious of Krishna that he actually is the supreme enjoyer. They're envious that Krishna has 16,108 wives and lives in such opulence and playfully just dispatches all the mighty demons who come to attack him. He's so beautiful, he's so powerful, he's so attractive to women. Everyone praises him. Oh, demons don't like this at all. But even they may have some appreciation. Just like when Putana came, she saw Krishna. At first she was stunned. What a beautiful child. And she thought, what am I thinking like this for? I have to kill Krishna. In her previous birth also, as the sister of Bali Maharaj, Ratnamala, her name was. When she first saw Vamana, she saw, beautiful little boy. Oh, what a fortunate mother must have suckled this boy at her breast. So she also desired to do that. But then when she saw that Vamana was the inveterate enemy of the demons, the Vishnu, then she became full of malicious feelings towards him. Just as the love of the demigods for Vishnu expanded massively upon seeing his tricking Bali Maharaj as Vamanadev, the demons' animosity toward Vishnu, that also increased tremendously. So Ratnamala, she got the opportunity, she became Putana in the next life. And the desire to suckle him, she got it, fulfilled. And for her sinful hatred of Vishnu, she was killed by Vishnu. For the sinful activity of killing so many babies. The modern abortionists, they don't get killed by Krishna directly. Yeah, the doctors, abortionists. So, she got that desire fulfilled to suckle Krishna's breast, suckle Krishna at her breast. Krishna took her life away also. He took the poison from her breast, and he took the poison from her mind. And therefore, but that feeling, that motherly feeling she had toward him, that Krishna, after clearing out all her sinfulness, he remembered that appreciation. Oh, she had a motherly feeling toward me. And Krishna thought, I sucked her breast, so she's just like my mother, so he gave her an eternal position as just like a mother. So, Kangva Dayalu, who can be more merciful than Krishna? This Uddhava, he sings, who can be more merciful than Krishna? So, Krishna, he gives the best kind of mercy, and no one else could actually give any mercy. Whatever is conceived of as kindness in the material world is a form of unkindness. Benefiting the body without giving knowledge of Krishna is a form of unkindness, because it reinforces the bodily concept of life. the idea that we're helping others merely by helping the body. Generally people do, or they're kind to those who they consider their own, and they have no particular interest in others. Just like the parents, they look after their own children, they're not particularly concerned with others' children. But Krishna sees all living beings as his children, so Krishna is kind to everyone. He doesn't see anyone ultimately as an enemy. Just like there are cases where a child, sometimes I remember when I was in Malaysia, there was a case like this. One child was like haunted by a demon and he would attack his parents. But even though the child may attack the parents think, well, it's our child. They don't think of the child. They think there's something wrong with the child, but they don't hate the child. So Krishna says, Ye yata mang prapadyante tang tathaiva bhajami aham. I reciprocate with people according to the way they behave with me. So Krishna, he says that, but underlying that is a spirit of wanting to benefit everyone. So both these statements are true, that Krishna, he's kind to everyone and he reciprocates with everyone according to the way they behave. Just like I was saying about the Mayavadi's so-called kirtan. It's not really kirtan because they have no spirit of pleasing Krishna or surrendering to Krishna. So they don't get mercy from Krishna as the pure devotees do from performing kirtan in love of Krishna. The Mayavadis will have to suffer for their offenses even despite their so-called kirtan. But just like Putana, when her offenses were nullified, she got the benefit of whatever little affection, even in a misconceived way, that she had for Vishnu. So Mayavadis, they will get some benefit from chanting Hare Krishna, because Krishna is so kind. On the other hand, we can't encourage that kind of so-called kirtan, because Shruti Smriti Purana Adi Pancharatra Vidhing Vina Aikantiki Hare Bhakti Utpatayaiva Kalpate. Their misrepresentation of devotional service, which is not according to the Shastric way, that simply causes a disturbance in society, and people, they get misinformation about what bhakti actually is. So other meanings of the word prasada, clearness, brightness, purity, these are discussed under synonyms of this name. There are several names which describe the brightness of the Supreme Lord and the purity and the peacefulness. So I won't discuss this here now. And in fact, I'll call this session to an end. So, there was one suggestion at the beginning. One of the devotees living here in Dobromysh suggested that maybe the visiting devotees could help with collecting firewood, which is a major job, and they could also get a little taste of country life. Was there any follow-up on that? Yeah? You like to? Yeah, okay. That's being organized, huh? Or, for, huh? Well, I was told by one of the devotees that they'd got permission to go in the forest and collect fallen wood. Oh, is it? Alright, okay. Alright then. Hare Krishna. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Okay. How long should we go on? Okay.
Is it possible to protect cows in Dobromysh?
Is it possible to protect cows in Dobromysh? What do I think? I don't know. I don't know what the laws are. Do they forcibly take away? Is there a law you have to kill cows when they get old? No. Well, I think it's possible because people do keep cows. I discussed this with some of the devotees here, and they said that you have to grow a lot of fodder for them for the winter, because obviously they can't graze in the snow, and for that you have to have land to grow it. So it's previously all over the Western world there was common land in which people could, it was not owned by anyone in particular, which was grazing land for people's animals. But that's not there anymore. There is common land here.
Everything is divided.
So it's possible, but there are some considerations which makes it not as straightforward as it might seem to be. Okay. What's your question?
In one of your lectures you mentioned that regression is one of the discrepancies.
It's gone from English to Russian and back to English, and I can't understand what's meant now.
By regression?
Yeah, regression. What, can you give more detail? What do you mean?
Что за регрессия объяснить? Что? Hypnosis. Rolling back and hypnosis, rolling back. Куда возвращение?
Oh, I see. Past life regression. Yeah. Not required. We don't find in any of the descriptions of the acharyas that bhakti is performed by getting hypnotized. There are things like this. Different devotees get into different trips. We call it a trip, and they become very excited about past life regression and all this. But whatever you were in the past life, now in this life you have the opportunity to chant Hare Krishna, so do it. Doesn't matter what you were in your last life. Now you have the opportunity to chant Hare Krishna, so do it. Whatever you were in your last life, that was an illusory situation also. So why be concerned with it? Past life regression, how many lives do you want to go through? It's just a useless diversion. If at all it's actually happens. People talk about being hypnotized and going to their past life. I'm not sure if they're actually doing that at all. I think it's quite possible they're just imagining the whole thing. But whether it's imagined or not, it's all imaginary in another sense. So we should think about the future and prepare for the future by chanting Hare Krishna. Alright. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.